Well, it was a night to remember at the Isleta Amphitheater for fans of the band The Cure this summer. It's a night BCSO Detective Cameron Carroll will never forget. He and his two partners found themselves faced with a life or death situation.
I knew something was not right and she needed our help. She was not breathing very well. Within a few seconds, I was no longer getting any breathing and I was not getting any heartbeat. So I started doing a CPR.
While Detective Carroll was performing CPR, his partners were setting up an automatic external defibrillator.
Adult mode.
Also known as an AED device.
Yeah, let's get it around,
Delivering
Shock
delivery.
I took my hands off and stopped doing CPR. It provided that electrical stimulus, and then we continued CPR. It shocked her twice over the course of our time together, and at that point we were able to recover a heartbeat and get some breathing back. So we went from having nothing to having signs of life.
What we're going to do today is we're going to create efficiency in our cardiac arrest treatment.
What's so unique about this life-saving effort is that only a few months earlier, Detective Carroll and many of his fellow deputies were trained in a classroom by paramedic Gabe DeBaltz from Bernalillo County Fire and Rescue.
In reality, the fact that Detective Carroll recognized that this woman was in cardiac arrest and provided prompt action and continued to keep blood flow to the brain, and then ultimately they ended up with the AED on this particular patient in under 5 minutes, which is really phenomenal by any standards.
And also in reality, law enforcement can typically get to the scene of most life or death situations 3 to 5 minutes before paramedics.
And we know just from the data historically that every single minute that somebody is not getting adequate CPR done, they're 10% less likely to survive that event.
Since our jobs overlap quite frequently, it's a good thing. We were able to know how they respond, how they need things, and vice versa. They know what we do and what we're trained to do, and then we've kind of made it a cohesive plan of action when people need our help.
4, 5, 6.
DeBaltz gives BCSO credit for stepping up and not only asking for the training, but embracing it 100%.
Unfortunately, there's many places still left in the country where people become very siloed in their way that they operate. And you'll hear a lot of law enforcement will say, that's not my job. And in reality, the Sheriff's Department stepping up and saying, I want that to be part of my job, was one of the biggest changes that we could have.
For Detective Carroll and his partners Detective Garcia and Detective Lopez, who confront death continually, giving life on this day gave a whole new meaning to the term protect and serve.
So as a homicide detective, we deal with death all the time, and very rarely do we get to have happy endings. So I'm just very grateful that we were able to have this training.